that everything is always working out for you, that everything is right, that there is no wrong anywhere in the universe, that anything seen as wrong or bad, or anything you wish was different than it was, is only because you're looking at it from a limited perspective, a perspective that is not quite aligned with your inner self's perspective, who knows everything is working out perfectly. When you encounter anything where you are a little bit resistant, where you think it should be different than it is, where you might be annoyed or have a little bit of judgment, we invite you to lean into those moments. This is your chance to act on what you know. Act on the premise that everything is working out for you. You might not be aware of how it's working out for you. It might not be unfolding as you would have written it, but you have to understand that everything that comes to you is a reflection of the vibration you're offering. It's created by that vibration. This is how you create your reality. In that creation of a reality, you are like a projector on a movie screen, projecting what is in that movie projector, the film, onto the screen. Then you get to see it. You get to look at it. You get to play with it. And it's all context. It's all giving you straightforward reflection of that vibration. Anytime you notice anything that's wrong or bad, you know that there's a vibration that's causing you to believe that's wrong or bad. It's a limiting belief. That limiting belief is bringing up fear anytime you're inspired to do anything. If you could soften that fear, then you would act on more inspiration. If you get comfortable acting on more inspiration or have the ability to push past the fear to take some action, whatever action you can take in the moment without having to imagine it all the way down, then those action steps will lead you to everything you truly want. But you don't know what you truly want. There's no way to know what you truly want. Because from the perspective where you are now, as high as that is, among the highest in the world, you can't imagine what can come to you from higher and higher perspectives. This is why there's no use setting goals or no use dreaming for something you want. Because the person who you will become in a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, might want quite different things, might be more in tuned to their soul's mission, their soul's journey, their inner self, might have empathic abilities, might have more inspiration, more intuition, more clarity. So if you understand that you're moving along this journey from a limited perspective, even though it's so high right now, to an even higher perspective in the months and years to follow, that from those higher perspectives, you will understand how it all worked out as you look back. But there's no way to look forward. There's no way to imagine what could come. There's no need to control or wish or hope because all that would be done from a limited perspective. What you truly want is based in your pre-birth intentions. You don't know what those intentions are other than you came to have a massive shift in perspective in this lifetime. With that massive shift in perspective comes everything you truly want. Comes more joy, more freedom, more abundance, more connection, more clarity. You don't want the things you think you want, and you don't want to figure out how to get from where you are now to those things. If you look at many things you think you want, it's to solve some problem, to fix what you think is wrong. But there is no wrong in this universe, and you cannot be wrong either. You cannot be anything other than perfect. Imperfection is the illusion. Sure, if you feel separate and can't remember who you are, then you will assume that you could be different than you are, and that would affect a different reality. While that's true, if the inside, if the vibration was different, you personally cannot be different. You can be expanded, you can have more experience, you can expand your identity. This will create an inner change that then creates a new vibration. That vibration then will bring a reflection of this new version of you, or this more expanded version of you. More, 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 more. This is what you want. Expansion is more. More of everything. But if you pick and choose what you want more of, then you're resisting the process to move you there. If you think you know how things should unfold, if you think that you want this because that would make you feel something, then you are actually limiting your progress on this journey. We shouldn't say the word progress. We should say movement effortlessly and easily along this journey in a joyful manner. You want to be flexible, flexible and fluid, aware and clear, paying attention to the synchronicities, understanding when something very unusual is happening, it must be happening for a reason. Understanding that every person in your life is there for a reason, is there to move you along your journey of self-discovery. Who you can become is unimaginable to who you are now. Who you will become could quite possibly be someone that you wouldn't want to become now. But once you get there, you will understand that that journey that you took to get there was perfect. And that if you were living in joy along this journey, if you were leaning into every experience along this journey, if you knew there was no wrong, that you didn't have to protect yourself, that you didn't have to control anything, that nothing outside of you was making you feel anything, and that the only thing that mattered was your perspective as you moved along that journey, then you would arrive to a new place and a new place and a new place and a new place with more and more and more and more. More what? More joy, more experience, more fun, more connection, more clarity. That's what you really want. But you protect yourself from situations where negative emotion could arise. And so you want to plan things out and make sure no situation will come up where you could feel negative emotion. Remember, the conditions cannot make you feel negative emotion. The negative emotion simply comes as you drop your perspective. Perceiving the outside conditions should be different than they are. Perceiving what's happening is preventing you from getting what you want. If you let go of attachment to outcome, and you understand that this event must happen to move me along that journey to more connection, more clarity, then this event, no matter what I think of it, is part and perfect for that journey. Every aspect of this journey can be had in joy. Joy is any emotion above the emotional horizon line, from curiosity to exuberance. If you are curious about why this is happening, that's a state of joy. That's a state of ease. That's leaning into the experience. If you are holding back and resisting and leaving and wanting things to be different and getting out of the present moment so you can do something else, that is simply resistance. So think about driving your car. There is a wonderful place that you're going to. The scenery is beautiful, but you might feel that you're going too fast, and you might be pumping the brakes the whole time. The brakes are never necessary because you will always be going the speed at which you can handle. It may seem a little bit intense for you, but there's a bit of fear that's being fleshed out in these experiences. Get comfortable with that fear because the fear is the illusion. Succumbing to that fear is buying into the illusion. Stopping yourself from acting or doing the things you're inspired to do, or imagining the worst that could happen, is buying into this idea of yourself in some capacity as a victim to those outside conditions. You are the creator of this reality. How do you create this reality? Through the vibration. Do you know what you're vibrating? All you have to do is look at what's happening outside of you. That is a mirror to that vibration. And so when a manifestation event occurs and you drop your perspective and you feel negative emotion, simply know that the vibration in you is creating this mirror so that you can see that limiting belief, that vibration of resistance. In those times, if you can lean into that experience, see it for what it truly is, maintain your perspective, you'll have the clarity to understand the information, the experience. Every experience, without exception, has information that will help you elevate that perspective or maintain that perspective or discover a limiting belief, discover a limitation, discover the reason you're putting your foot on the brake. Imagine driving through life without any need to ever put your foot on the brake. Imagine being fluid, adaptive, and allowing everything to unfold as it is meant to unfold without needing to know why or how or where it's going to get you. If you had the faith that you are the creator of this reality, that everything is working out for you and everyone else, that everyone else is the creator of their reality, if you had that faith, this life would be elegant, easy, wonderful, and unimaginable. Unimaginable is the life that you've come to live. If you can't imagine it, then why hold on to an outcome? Why want to control anything? Why want to improve? The only reason you'd ever do that is because there's a tiny bit of you that's still holding on to the idea that outside conditions can make you feel something. Outside conditions cannot make you feel anything. The people in your life cannot make you feel anything, whether that's fear or love. You do not feel the love from others. You feel your love for them. You can love everything. And in the loving of everything, knowing it's all perfect, knowing it's all working out, you will live your life expressing love. If you lived your life expressing love, you're living as you intended to live. If you're living life in fear, you're still living life as you intended to live, knowing that this will move you towards greater expansion. And you could try it again and again and again and again, and there is no end. But you've all come here with one question in mind. How do I feel better? Fear is the only thing that causes you to feel anything other than joy. There's joy and there's fear. If there was no fear, all you'd feel is joy. Since all fear is an illusion, when you realize that and you move past it, you will gain greater confidence and it'll be easier for you to act on inspiration. The fear is all up in the intellect, all in your head. It's not real. It seems real, and you abide by it to greater levels than you currently know, but it is not real. The way to prove to yourself that it is not real is to get comfortable with those thoughts of fear and act on the inspiration that you receive. If you can imagine the best that will possibly happen, you will notice that happens more often than not. And when that starts to happen over and over and over and over again, you will state to everyone that my life is unimaginable. And with that, we'd like to talk to you about anything you'd like to talk about. Who'd like to start?